Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, Supportive Oracle Cards, Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Seems like there's already a bit of energy going on, so... That card. That one card I just dealt with you. It's not... Okay. Alright, you're not going to be putting up with somebody. I can already get that. Somebody's been getting away with something, and I feel like it's coming to a head. And it's kind of like, alright, enough is enough. We need to fix this. I'm not putting up with this anymore. You got the Chariot at the bottom, too, which I don't always pull the bottom card for these readings, but what I'm getting is like, this is going to go forward, and this is going to happen a lot quicker than you're expecting. It's going to be one of those things where it just one thing happens after another, one thing happens after another, and before you know it, you've solved the issue. This isn't the most comfortable situation, but I'm also getting it happens so fast that it's kind of like when you look back in retrospect, you're like, well, that was kind of difficult, but at the time I just had to handle it as I handled it. I just kind of went and did it. And now that I look back, I'm like, that was a lot. This is going to be one of those situations. Kind of like, I don't know how I did it, but obviously I did it. One of those things. Now, when we're starting off, you care about somebody. Not that that's odd, but this is why somebody's getting away with something. I'm feeling like they're just not on point. Somebody's just not on point, or there's something about them that's just, you normally don't put up with this. I almost feel like you're doing somebody's work for them. You got indecision, and you got these other two cards behind it. Financial constraints is popping up here. I don't think that's literal. Not for most of you, it's just something is not right. Something is lacking. Something is definitely lacking. And you got a man holding a heart, which don't get caught up in the gender. It's just basically saying, whoever you are, whatever your gender is, you're feeling this sense of responsibility, like it's up to you to make sure this works out. And I feel like you're covering for somebody, or you're doing somebody's share. And you might have a really solid reasoning about why they can't do this because of that, or they need this just for now, or whatever, but it just seems like it feels like somebody's taking advantage of your good nature, which is not often for Capricorn. It's very rare for this to happen, in my opinion, to Capricorn. They don't usually put up with that. So I'm already kind of like skeptical how this is happening. But I'm getting the man holding a heart, I'm getting the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. They're putting in a little effort, but it's almost like they're playing you a little bit. They're kind of like, I can't do that much. I can't do it. I'm having a hard time. And you are picking up the slack for them. The thing is, Capricorn, you're very caring, and you value people, and you give in what they, you're very good at keeping a good balance with that. Like, you put in the effort, you get out the effort. People who put in an honest day's work, that's what you value. You don't usually put up with freeloaders. You could tell me in the bottom or in the comments below if I'm off on that one, but I really don't think Capricorn usually puts up with this. I'm kind of shocked about this, but it's been going on for a while, it looks like. The thing is, now this is where Capricorn energy seems to go back to what I would expect from Capricorn energy. It gets to a point where you're like, all right, now we're going into the land of BS here. I'm constantly doing this person's share. I'm constantly pulling them up. I'm rowing their boat for them. It's like I'm tying their boat to my boat, and I'm doing the rowing for both of us. They seem to act like they can't do anything, but yet they're back there sipping on the tea and drinking or eating cakes and having a good time laughing it up, when they could just at least try to row a little bit and keep things going. And it's kind of like it's starting to wear on you. Like, wait a minute, this is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. I'm doing all the work, and like all the work I am doing is getting divided between me and this other person, and that's not right. So this is normal Capricorn energy, in my opinion. Kind of like, all right, this is getting to be a little bit too much. I do like this. I do care about this person. You have a deep feeling for this person, but you're like, this isn't right. This isn't good. This isn't good for me. This isn't really good for them. Something's wrong here. I almost feel like this other person catches wind, and they're getting the hint. They're like, uh-oh, something ain't right. Capricorn isn't happy with me. This is about to change. So they seem to do a quick movement forward. But this is a little bit... I don't like this. The Eight of Wands talks about speed or travel. I'm feeling like speed is what's really happening here. They do something very quickly to try to catch up or try to look like they're trying to make an effort, but it's a debacle. It's just not... It doesn't come off right. It's like too fast. They don't know what they're doing. They're screwing things up. Eight of Pentacles with the Judgment card. You seem to help them out of this moment again. I don't know. I feel like they're pushing their luck because it's kind of like, all right, why do you not know what you're doing at this point? It seems like, why do they not know? Not you, but them. Why do they not know what they're doing? It's a little suspect here. Like, what's going on? It's a little sketchy. What's going on? How come you screwed that up so bad? It's something, they're screwing something up. They're doing it too fast, but it's like they should know better. Judgment with the Eight of Pentacles is like you're pulling things back together, but I feel like you're getting a little bit aggravated. Like, this is starting to really get under your skin. Kind of like, what are they doing? What kind of game are they playing? I do want them to pull their weight, but now you feel like they're playing a game. Like they're trying to prove to you that they can't do it and that they need you to take care of them. And you're like, this isn't right. What they just did was irresponsible and out of control. No. You weren't asking for them to jump up and start running immediately. You're just you wanted them to get up and start making effort to get up to speed so that they can start pulling their own weight, or at least get as far as they can. Even if they can't do the total thing, if they at least put in the effort and try to do as much as they can, that would satisfy you. This is what they just pulled, this quick pull it together, make it go quick, screw it all up so you feel bad for them bullcrap. You're like, I don't like this. You got the yin-yang on your side where you're like, you're not saying anything. It just feels like you're not saying anything, not directly about what's going on here, but you're it's starting to swirl around in your brain a little bit, kind of like, well, they did at least do something, so that's good, but they screwed it all up, so that's not good. This is the yin-yang coming together, like, they're finally moving. I guess I should be happy about that, but they screwed it all up, so I'm not happy about that. They should have done it right, so they can do it, so that's good. But for some reason, they didn't do it right. They went too fast, so that's not good. You're kind of going back. You're trying to like sort it out. Like, you don't want to believe this person is playing games with you, is what I'm getting. The yin yang is like you're trying to balance it out. Like, wait a minute, was it good? Was it bad? Is there a little bit of this? And like you're going back and forth. There's like you're trying to get the balance. In the environment, I'm seeing this other person. Literally, it's the angel of balance. Like, because they know you're not impressed with them. They know it. Whatever they did it too fast, and they're realizing that failed. Whatever they were hoping to do or try to convince you to keep helping them or pulling their weight for them, they're realizing that did not work. No, that actually went bad. They're trying to come to you and they're trying to find a different way to work this out now. They got Temperance with the Four of Cups. I feel like they're realizing that they kind of got on your nerves and they did something they should not have done. They kind of played it a little strange. They went too fast. That didn't impress you. Why they thought it would, I don't know. But like they went into something very recklessly. It's like when you're building the foundation of a house and you're laying brick after brick very specifically, very purposefully, you're putting it here like this, you're putting the mortar around it in a certain way, and you're just making sure like the bricks are the way they're supposed to be in a certain fashion for a certain reason. And then they just kind of run up there and they just start slapping things together really quick, and they're just slapping it in there just willy-nilly and just doing a crazy job just trying to build a wall as fast as possible. And you're like, you just built that wall and it's got to be taken down because it's crap and it's not going to hold up anything. It's going to fall right over. It's rickety. Now I have to take, now not only did you do it wrong, but now I have to take it down and rebuild it. That's your response to what they did. Like whatever they did, you're like, now I have to undo what you did and do it correctly. And you're even more annoyed because you're like, they know how to do it correctly. So you're like, you know how to do it correctly and you just ran ahead and did this willy-nilly, which all they did was make extra work for me to deconstruct what you did wrong so I can do it right. I'm getting really aggravated with this. Like, this is kind of pissing me off. When I'm seeing what they did, And then they're trying to come back to you and make amends for it, and they're like, I'm so sorry. And you're just kind of like, sorry for what? Being a jerk? Because it seems like that's your thing. Like, you're annoyed. You're not happy with them. You are not impressed. Like, you're kind of like, you did that wrong. That was not right. The thing is, they should have known better. That's the problem here. It's kind of like, whatever they did, you're like, I've showed you how to do that the right way. There's no reason for you to do it the way you did. And now you made extra work for me. I'm not happy about this. On your side, they're trying to, I feel like they're actually trying to fix things now. It's at this point where it's like, it's quite clear that you're angry, but you're not, I don't see you sniping or getting angry or saying, like, I don't see you coming at them like with the claws out. I just feel like your demeanor and the way you're handling things, it's very solemn, but it's very to the point. Like, you are not impressed, and they know that they've made you unhappy. The Tower card with the Lovers card is like, they're starting to turn things around, and they're starting to pull their own weight, because they're realizing that's the only choice they have if they expect to get back in your good graces, is to start putting things together the way they're supposed to. They got to work and take down whatever they did. They have to deconstruct it themselves, and now they have to start doing it the correct way, putting it brick by brick, slowly by slowly, the way it should be put together, being very careful with the mortar, putting the correct amount of mortar in there, making sure that it's mixed correctly, it's put in there at the right time, everything is set and reinforced, and holding up the way it's supposed to be. The Two of Pentacles is like, this is their chance to really put things back together. Even though they're putting things back together, and that's shocking you that they're finally doing things the way they should be, that is the Tower card for you. And you're loving it, that's the Lovers card. Like, you're very happy they're finally kind of going the way they should. Between you and them, it's still kind of a stalemate. Because you're happier that they're fixing their own mess, that they're doing it the right way now. But now you're holding off because you're like, all right, let's see how long this lasts. Are you going to stick with it? Is this how this is going to last now? Are you doing it the way you should? Are you going to stay doing it the way you should? Or is this just until you think, I'm over it, and then you go back to doing what you were doing? You like what's happening, you're not sold on what's happening. Let's go a little farther. Let's see if you actually hold up to it, if you keep doing it. The third chakra is the solar plexus. This is what's on this. I like this. This is when we talk about loyalty to self. Kind of like, one of the things with loyalty to self is like, if we want to make it really simple, when somebody makes dinner for you, and you say you don't like fish, like most fish, for some reason I just don't care for. The loyalty to the self is saying, like, you have a choice of having the other items or trying to eat the fish even though you don't really like it. Loyalty to self would say, if you don't really like it, don't eat it. Eat the other things, but then the other part of you would be like, yeah, but I don't want to make this person feel bad, so shouldn't I just eat it so they think I like it? Loyalty to self would say no. Eat what you do like, compliment what you do like, so it's more authentic and true, so you can be truthful and people know when you like something, you honestly like it. If that makes sense. Like, loyalty to self is also like those social situations where we try to go along with the group just to make everybody happy, but the loyalty to self would say that's wrong. If you really don't want to do something, if you don't really want to go to that baseball game, or you don't really want to go to that concert, or you don't want to follow this, or you don't want to follow that, be loyal to yourself and do what you really stick with what you want to do, and don't follow people just because you want to go along with the crowd. So that being said here, this person does mean a lot to you still, but when this shows up for Capricorn, it's kind of like, you're very honest and very truthful. I do care about you, I do like you, I do want you to stay in my life, but don't pull that BS with me again. You know damn well the way you're supposed to do that, and I know that little trick you played, I'm not a fan of it. I'm thankful you got yourself back on point. Stay on point, because I'm not pulling your weight for you again. It's kind of like, it's very to the point, it's kind of rough, but it's not cruel. It's just like, here's what it is, that's what it was, and I'm not and this is where it's going. Here's where we are, that's where we were, and here's where we're going. And it's just like fact, fact, fact. Just, there's no sugarcoating it. It's not mean, it's not cruel, it's just fact, fact, fact. Here's where we are, that's where we were, here's where we're going, and that's just all there is to it. I'm not negotiating with you. That's where it's going. I'm getting that they're a little conflicted with this. They're upset with this. They wanted it to go back to the way it was. they really did think for some reason that they could keep you doing their share. That was not right. The fact that they're up pulling their own weight like they should be, that's where they should be, this is correct, this is where they need to be. They don't like it. That's the heartbreak. But the thing is, I don't feel bad about that because it's like, taking advantage of somebody else, if that's the balance for the heartbreak, then they should have a heartbreak. I mean, it's also because the heartbreak is also there because they feel like they've really been diminished in your eyes, like they're not as valued as they used to be. It's not even that. It's just, and for you, I feel like you're like, well, you are who you are, whatever. I mean, you still care about them. You still definitely have feelings. You look out for them, but you're kind of like, you're annoyed with this whole game that they played. It's going to take you a while to move on from it, but even then, it'll always be in the back of your head. Like, I remember what you did. And I feel like that's what the heartbreak is for them. They know you're going to remember this. And I feel like it's a little bit of shame on their side with the Five of Wands. Like, they're conflicted about it, and they're kind of like, I wish I didn't. I wish I hadn't. It did not work for me, and now the Capricorn is never going to forget that. The thing is, it's going to pull them forward in life, and they're going to realize, that's a behavior they need to kind of wipe away from their repertoire. Repertoire? What is the word I want to use? Arsenal. They shouldn't be using that type of tactic, because that's what they get from it. There's something else with this, by the way, because you got the Goddess of the Moon, you got the Door to Value, but right between it, kind of wedged in there, is this Deceit card. I feel like this person, okay, this might be the bigger piece of this whole reading. I'm just want to be sure, because the Deceit card wedged right in there is like there's other things with this person that I feel like if you look a little closer, there's other things in their life that are really unbalanced, and you might want to take note of that, because even though it may not affect you directly right now, it may affect you later. I'm getting there's other problems with this person. You might want to look a little closer and possibly judge a little harsher. Judge a little harsher. I'm going to say that to Capricorn. Well, I mean, because when you care, but I feel like this person, maybe there's something else here that's not right. You've decided you're not putting up with this portion anymore, but maybe there's something else here you shouldn't be putting up with too. They're saying evaluate this relationship for yourself a little bit more. And I feel for a lot of you, especially with the Door of Value, how this is moving on, this has a lot to do with work or something financial like that. So it might be an investment relationship or a banker, a tax preparer. It could be just flat out work, business, but somebody that you had this issue with and that you had to like do the extra legwork for and you shouldn't have. That's not the only imbalance with this. And that's what they're saying. Look deeper. What else isn't right here? Maybe there's something else you need to look at. Maybe there's something else you need to kind of police and kind of be like, wait a minute, that's not right either. Let's fix that while we're at this. When that deceit is wedged in there, it's like there's something else that's not right here with this person. This exact person is what I'm getting. They're saying, look a little deeper. Investigate a little deeper. What else isn't right? Because maybe you're going to decide that you need to make some changes here. It's better to see it now. This might be a total gift, especially if it's something like a financial advisor or something like it's a business relationship with somebody who helps you with investments or something to that effect. It's kind of like, you know what, you're seeing this little problem now. It's not the end of the world, but it's a little bit of a problem. But they're saying this is like a blinking light, that red blinking light saying problem here, problem here. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Look deeper, see what else is happening here, because you might want to change things now before there's actually a more serious problem. And that's what we're getting out of this. All right, that's what we got. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.